Words of our Divine Mother from the book The Mother by our Lord Sri Aurobindo, with the Mother's comments of 1954, comments on chapter 3, page 153. Question: Sweet Mother, what does mental arrogance mean? For this mother says, mental arrogance? That means what all of you have. And then mother laughs. I don't know a human being who doesn't have a mental arrogance. There are those who have a little, there are those who have much, there are those who are entirely made up of it. The mind, by its very nature, is something essentially arrogant. It fancies that it can know, it imagines that it can judge, and it spends its time passing judgments on everything within you or on yourself, on others, on all things. Mother says recently a very amusing incident happened here. Someone wrote and began to express a doubt about something said by Sri Aurobindo, but then afterwards he added, but why should we not forget that he who wrote this at least as intelligent as we are? Mother laughs. When people spend their time judging things, if they tell themselves, but perhaps the other person is at least as intelligent as I am, they would be less. But you have to observe yourself. You can observe yourself, catch yourself at least 100 times a day with a mind which decides everything, knowing everything, judges everything, knows very well what is good, what is bad, what is true, what is false, what is right, what is wrong. And also one should act what this person should have done, how to resolve that problem. All men know, you see. If they were at the head of the governments, for instance, they would know very well how to manage everything, but people don't listen to them, that's all. You have only to look at yourself, you will see, you will catch yourself all the time. Not to speak of those who have long ago decided about all the errors God has committed and how the world would be if it were they would have commissioned it to make it be or make it there. Question: with the touch of the divine grace, how does difficulties become opportunities for progress, sweet mother? Mother says, opportunities for progress? Yes, well, this is something quite obvious. You make a big mistake, you are in a great difficulty. Then if you have faith, if you have trust in the divine grace, if you really rely on it, you will suddenly realize that it is a lesson, that your difficulty or a mistake is nothing else but a lesson, that it comes to teach you to find within yourself what needs to be changed. And with this help of the divine grace, you will discover in yourself what has to be changed, and you will change it. And so, from a difficulty, you will have made a great progress, taken a considerable leap forward. This indeed happens all the time. Only you must be truly sincere. That is, rely on the grace of the divine and it will work in you. Not like this, one part of you asking to be helped, another part resisting as much as it can because it does not want to change. This is the difficulty. All that he is saying all the time is completely, totally, sincerely, without reserve. For there is one part of the being which has an aspiration. There is one part of the being which gives itself. There are other parts, sometimes a small part, sometimes a big one, which hides nicely right at the bottom and keeps absolutely quiet so that it may not be found, but which resists with all its might so as not to change. And so one wonders with, oh, I had such a beautiful aspiration, I had so much of goodwill, I had such a great desire to change, and then see, I cannot. Why? Then, of course, your mental arrogance comes in and says, I didn't get the response I deserve. The divine grace doesn't help me. I'm left all alone to shift for myself, etc. It is not like that, my dear child. It is that hidden somewhere there is a tiny something which is well coiled up in there, doubled up, turned in upon itself and well hidden right at the bottom, as at the bottom of a box which refuses to stir. Mother speaks very softly. So when there is a effort, the aspiration wane, die down, this springs up like that gently and then wants to impose its will, and it makes you do exactly what you didn't want to do and what you had decided you would not do, and which you do without knowing or why, because that thing was there, it had its turn, for small things, big things, for the details, even for the direction of your life. You see, there are people who see clearly, who know so well what they ought to do, and who feel that they can't. They don't know why. It is something like that. But it is like that. It is nothing else but that. There is a little spot which does not want to change, and this little spot awaits its hour. And the day it is allowed, through laxity, fatigue, somnolence, through a little inertia, allowed to show itself, it will show itself with all concentrated, accumulated energy, and you will make you do, it will make you say, it will make you feel, make you act exactly contrary to what you have decided to do. And you will stand there, how discouraging this is. Then people say fate, they think it is their fate. It is not fate, it is themselves. It is that they haven't used the light, the searchlight. They have not turned the searchlight into the small hidden corners of their own being. They haven't discovered what was well hidden. They have left it there, and they have done this. Mother turns away her head so as not to see it. How many times one suddenly feels in on a point of catching something? Oh, it hurts a little, it's troublesome. So one thinks of something else, and that's all. The opportunity has gone. One must wait for another occasion, again commit a few stupidities before being able to find an opportunity to catch the things by the tail like this, or by the ear or the nose, and hold it firmly and say, no, you won't hide any longer now. I see you as you are, and you must either get out or change. One must have a strong grip and an unshakable resolution. As in our Japanese story of the other day, that soldier who had a knife in his knee in order to make sure of not falling asleep, and when he felt very sleepy, he turned the knife in such a way that it will hurt him still more. One must have something like that. Then it is this is the determination to know what one wants to do and have to do it. Date 21st July 1954.